Hey guys, CreditDiva here. Thank you so much for joining me today on the second video in the Your Credit Life Get It Right series. Now let me first say, I completely apologize about the fact that this video was not up on Wednesday. It should have been up on Wednesday. However, something crazy happened when I went to upload my video from my camera to my computer. The video just disappeared. And then of course when I uploaded it, I clicked that little button that says erase after upload, so it wasn't even on my camera anymore. I will never push that button again for this specific reason, but it erased from my camera as well. So I was, to say the least, I was just livid. I was frustrated at that point. I had recorded this whole video, ready to edit it, ready to get it out to you guys on Wednesday, but it just didn't work out that way. And then not to mention the fact, last week the weather has been so disrespectful to the Virginia area, and it was just a week last week. So anyway, if those of you who was caught in that, you know what I'm talking about. It wasn't just in Virginia. I think it came through West Virginia also. I'm really not for sure any other states, but I know here in Virginia we got it. It was very disrespectful. I didn't appreciate it. And then they say we have more coming. But anyway, we're not going to worry about that right now. All we're going to worry about today is discussing our second video in the, like I said, the Your Credit Life Get It Right series. I'd like to start from the beginning of everything, give you a great foundation. So the main foundation was your credit report. You got it, reviewed it, boom, you're good. Now there's some things on there that's questionable. When you find some things that's questionable, you need to know what it is that you need to do in order to clear up those items, correct those items, or completely get them off your credit report. So that's where we will start. Okay, so in 1970, I believe that's the year. Yes, in 1970, the federal government enacted a law called the Fair Credit Reporting Act. This act basically promotes the accuracy and the privacy of all consumer information that's contained and maintained in your credit files with these credit bureaus. The three major credit bureaus that you all know is Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. So they all have to abide by this particular law, and we'll get into the different components of what this law enables you to do as the consumer. Now, I will also say this when it comes to credit bureaus. There are many different small little credit bureaus underneath. Just because they're smaller than the big three does not mean that they do not have to abide by this law, because they do. Okay? So with that being said, what's contained in the law? What can I do about clearing these items off my credit report, fixing the items that are wrong, or just getting the ones that's on there that I have no idea where they come from? So what can you do? Points of the process in which you're able to basically correct the items that's incorrect on your credit report or have them completely removed. So the first thing, the first component, anything on your credit report, if you deem that that is inaccurate, or it's just completely wrong, or it's just not yours at all whatsoever, you can dispute it. The second thing that happens in the process is that once you dispute it, the credit bureau has to investigate it. They have to investigate it. In investigating it, that means that they are contacting the creditor in which you are disputing that information, and the creditor is responsible for getting information back over to the credit bureau to let them know if either the information that they are reporting is correct or not correct. Okay. Which brings us to our third step in this process. The third step is you need to know how long this investigation will go on, because you can't wait days, weeks, and months to go by in order for them to tell you if something is accurate, right? That's crazy. So you need to be given a time frame. So the third part of this process is that it's a 30-day process when it comes to you disputing items. So with that 30 days, like I was saying before, the creditor has that same time frame to get information over to that credit bureau and let them know, hey, yes, this is right, or don't respond at all, and it comes off. That brings us to the fourth step of the process. If after that 30 days they do not respond, or they are late, meaning they ain't get there on 30 days, they got their information to the credit bureau on the 32nd day, that information, the credit bureau is responsible for removing that information from your report completely. That is what it is. it comes off. No questions asked. That's a part of the law. So they have to do that. Now, the fifth step in this process is, let's say, for example, and the credit report, or excuse me, the credit bureau investigates that particular item, that information that you're disputing, sends it over to the creditor, say, hey, I need you to check up on this, make sure this is accurate or inaccurate, what we need to do. The creditor responds back to the credit bureau in a timely manner within that 30-day time frame, and they verify that the information that's on your credit report is deemed accurate. This is where there is some different views or different opinions when it comes to the credit bureau is on the creditor side or on the customer side, the consumer side. And I say that to say this. If that creditor lets the credit bureau knows, or let the credit bureau, if that creditor lets the credit bureau know that, hey, this is accurate, it is, it's accurate. That's basically all they have to say. From that point, the credit bureau will send you a letter and say, hey, within this time, we've investigated this item. The creditor deemed this item to be accurate. You know in your heart and soul that this is not yours, this is not accurate, and you can prove it. At that point, you have one of two options. The first option is you can either dispute that item again. And, I'm just going to be honest with you. A lot of times if you dispute it a second time, I would wait about 2-3 weeks before you dispute it again. Because what's going to happen is when, again, the credit bureau has to submit it for investigation. So when they submit it for, when they investigate it, they have to send another claim over to the company. Hopefully the company will be like, hey, we've already did this, and trash it. If they do that, great, because after that 30-day time frame and the people don't respond back on your second dispute, it comes off your credit report. See how it kind of works? That's the first thing that you can do. The second thing that you can do, and let's say you went through a divorce and you didn't know this particular item was in your name because your significant other put it in your name and you didn't know, but being that you guys were married at the time, it is yours. You can then add a consumer statement to your credit report. I believe it's only around 100 words that you're able to put into this consumer statement, basically explaining the situation on that particular debt. The smart thing that I would do, honestly, is that I would figure out a plan, contact the creditor, figure out a plan of payoff. Because that's the only way that you will be able to make that particular item or turn that particular item from a negative to a positive. We'll discuss that as well in an upcoming video. But in my opinion, I would definitely suggest that you would figure out what you need to do to get it in good standing and to pay it off. Paying it off will boost your credit score more so than if you just wait 7 years to where the item just automatically falls off, which is another thing also. If there is an item that's on your credit report and it is over 7-year time frame outside of bankruptcy, because bankruptcy can stay on your credit report for 10 years. But if there's an item that's been on there for more than 7 years, the credit bureaus normally are really good with this because they don't want to bombard their systems with so much information. Normally around the 7-year time frame, is anything is on there 7 years, it automatically drops off. That helps a lot of people because the time, it's like a statute. That time frame is what it is. 7 years. If there's no movement on that, there's no collections, no nothing on that particular item, it falls off. 5 steps in the process and what you need to do when you find things that's inaccurate on your credit report. Inaccurate or just not yours. Now, as far as these disputes are concerned, what is it that you can do to dispute it? Or how do you dispute it? All right. Now, there are 3 ways that you can do it. Again, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you the different options. And of course, I will tell you what it is that I have done personally when I found things on my report that was inaccurate. The first thing when you pull your credit report from annualcreditreport.com and you're on each one of the credit bureau's sites, when you're looking through the different tabs, that's like your information, your collections accounts, when you're looking through the different sections on your credit report, each creditor item that you click on, off to the side there will be a button that says dispute. When you click that dispute button, It will then bring up another page that basically explains what it is that you're about to do. So you'll click a button, you'll tell the system why you're disputing it, what you feel like the issue is, and you'll submit. And even when you do it that way, it's still the same thing. You have 30 days from when you submitted that dispute. I've never done a dispute online. I just like the paper trail. Actually having the piece of paper in my hand that shows when I mailed it, that shows when they received it, and I received a card back saying that they received it. And I'll show you what that is. And you can do it on any item online as long as you see that dispute toggle, that dispute button. Click it, say why you're disputing it, keep it moving. So you can do everything all in one whim at that particular point online. Get it all done, then you're waiting 30 days to get a response back. You will not get a response back online. You will get a response back paper. You will get a paper response. It will come in the mail to your home address or to whatever address that you put into the system, your mailing address. That will be the address that you'll get your dispute investigation results back. Second way of disputing it. What I've done personally myself, and I'm not really anal, I would say. I just like to have something in my hand saying, I know you got it on this day. You know, with a tracking number. I don't want it, you know, just like when you submit it online. I don't want you saying, oh, our computer just got a glitch. We didn't get that dispute. I'm not trying to hear none of that. So I want to know when you got it, on what day, how long it took to get there, and somebody gonna sign for it. That's just me. That's just how I want to do it. And you're able to do it like that. Now, the way, what I'm speaking of basically is when you're sending it through the post office. And when you're sending it through the post office, they have a service called Certified Mail with Return Receipt. And it basically looks like this. And I'll put screenshots in too so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. This is the certified piece. Certified mail, you are basically getting a identifier that's on the mail. It's electronic. You can check this online. It has a number here that goes on your mail piece. This side here is what you keep so that you're able to track it. This is the return receipt. This return receipt is put on the back of the envelope. You'll fill out the front and the back of this. You fill out who it's going to right here, number 1, and in the back you're putting the sender's information, which is your information. And it also has the tracking number back there too. So when the letter arrives to the location, it's scanned by the carrier that it was delivered. Then the carrier gets a signature on this card here, and this comes back to you in the mail and lets you know when they got it. Now, if you don't get this card back, let's say for example, but you're tracking it and you see that it was delivered, you're able to get a refund for this portion of it. These two have 2 different fees. I'm not really sure what the fees are off the top of my head, but I will look that information up for you guys and I'll post it in the description box. But this is the way that I send. If I have to dispute anything with the credit bureau, this is the way I'm sending it. I'm not sending it any other way. I'm not disputing it online. I'm sending it using the certified with return receipt. And finally, the third way that you can send it, if you're not wanting to pay for the certified with return receipt, it's fine. You can send a regular letter with a stamp on it. Now, what do you send to dispute? Good question. There is no form letter. You know, there is no type of forms or a special form, I'll say, that you have to fill out in order to dispute an item that you are saying is inaccurate. For me personally, all I've done ever is submitted a letter. It's just a basic letter that's stating, to whom this may concern, I would like to dispute the following item or items. When you dispute those items, you put out beside it why you're disputing it or why you deem it inaccurate on your credit report. And that starts the entire process. Simple, right? Easy peasy. The only thing that is bad about this process is that you're waiting. And it's not even bad. It's just the waiting part. Just the 30 days that you have to wait to get a response from the credit bureau upon the completion of their investigation to say, hey, this has been removed, or hey, this has been proven to be accurate on your credit report. Then you got to take your next steps. So with all of that being said, I hope you guys learned a little something from this. And if need be, please feel free to comment any questions that you may have that I didn't clearly explain, or that you just have for your own personal information, what questions you might have that has to do with your own personal credit report, you might want to email me that, not necessarily put your personal stuff in the comment section, but feel free to email me as well. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please stay tuned for next Wednesday. A video will come up. Again, I do apologize for this past Wednesday. Some things was going on, but I'm definitely going to try to have a video up every single Wednesday going forward with this series. We have 10 weeks of this, and this video is for our second week, and then next week it will be for our third, and so on and so forth. So please stay tuned. Again, tomorrow and probably Monday, I'll have another video up, 2 videos up. It'll be a Goodwill haul, and then it will be a DIY of some sort. If you like these videos, or if you'd like to see any other videos, please subscribe, comment, let me know what other videos you'd like to see. Thumbs up, of course, if you enjoyed the information, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.